Hi, Tony Selzer here. Welcome to the line. We found another incredible B2B technology that is changing the way we're going to run our business and changing the way we're going to understand our customers. I mean, think about how important it would be if you're Procter and Gamble, knowing exactly how, looking into the homes of how 100 of your ideal customers are using your product or service. Now, I can just tell you that you can look at all the customer data that you want, but watching people use your product is going to give you innovation, ideas, and really create a collaboration with your user to make the product better. And that's where FocusVision comes out of. We've got Steve August with out of Portlandia, right? Portland. That is the company's headquarters is in Stanford. But you guys have a great startup story, right? You were a technology that became part of a big company because you saw a greater vision. Tell us how you came to be.
Sure. Well, the company I founded was called Revelation. It was originally founded in San Francisco, and then we moved up here to Portland. And really what Revelation was founded to do was to really make that understanding of those in the moment, those key moments of customer behaviors, whether it's the moments of usage, of decision, of emotion, of purchase, and bring those to life. And now, when we started out back in 2005, 2006, the dominant way that people understood the experiences of their customers was through focus groups, and which are a fine methodology to understand people, but there's so much more opportunity in the digital world, especially now with mobile. And we thought, well, the opportunity is we have this reach into people's lives that we've never had, like in history, right? To be able to see their experiences as they unfold. And so Revelation was created as a mobile and a web platform so that companies could engage with their customers and understand those moments of behavior, understand their consumer experiences as they were unfolding.
Right. So really a mobile app, just Homer Simpson this, right? A mobile app that we can use to get video into the home while people are using not only our product or service, but seeing all the other things that affect their lives to understand how to make that product and service better. Maybe there's value points we haven't even thought of, morphs that we haven't even seen, but then really finding the critical faults, the friction that we design into products sometimes that doesn't need to be there, right? I mean, that's kind of what you're allowing these big companies to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is what we call the key moments in every study will emerge where the moment of epiphany happens, where you see a consumer experience, you see somebody reporting a frustration with a product, or you see the problem set emerge, or you see somebody posing an idea and you go, wow, that's something that has resonance for our customers. That's something that we can work with. That's something that's in reach of our development, and it really crystallizes action going forward.
Now, Steve, you told me a great story on how this type of data, this implicit data, this subjective data is changing, has saved and created sales growth opportunities for a really big client. Can you share that on the air?
Sure. Happy to. So the way to think of us is a little bit like the human side of business intelligence, right? So you have a lot of data. It gives you the big map of what's going on. Sometimes you need to know why it's happening in order to do anything about it. And so there's a great study that we have is a case study that we presented a few years back, and it was with Procter & Gamble and out of their baby care division, specifically about diapers. And why this was such a good example was because they had a serious problem that their data was pointing to, and they needed to understand what it was, why it was happening, and what to do about it. So the problem was, obviously they know a lot about diapers. It's a huge business for them, but we were seeing their sales data is telling them that as parents were transitioning their kids up into bigger sizes of diapers, they were losing them.
Right.
They were losing market share, and it was really, really dramatic. And they couldn't figure out why this was going on. All their technical data, and they measured hundreds of thousands of babies to know the dimensions of babies. All their technical data, all their product data said their sizing model should fit. It should not be, fit should not be an issue. And their marketing data said, we've got the right mix, we're in the right stores, we've got the right packaging. What's going on? So what we did, what they did, they used our system, Revelation, to set up a study with key moms and followed them over the course of 3 months to see if they could catch that moment of transition, because that's where the action was. That was where the whole nexus of the problem was. And they needed to understand what exactly was going on beyond the numbers. And so they were able to capture, all these moments of transition as well as what was going on at retail. And so what they found out was size really was an issue. It's almost like they needed half sizes, because the kids were good in a diaper one day, and then all of a sudden it was too tight. They go up to the next size, it was too loose.
Well, kids don't grow in proportion, right? They go like this and they go like this, and then and so those half sizes makes all the sense in the world if you have two toddlers running around, but you're never going to see that in your data. And only by getting in the environment of usage can you really do that. I'm going to tell you, I will give you a quick story. And this is just not only that, there's opportunities for product innovation. There's opportunities for category creation. So I had a client that used an application like yours, and they were able to figure out that on a wheelbarrow, if you're going to use a wheelbarrow for heavy things all day, and you have to lift it up and put it, all the way vertical and load and unload, and you're doing that's very back-wrenching work, right? And it's hard to control once the weight gives it. So they put a circle, they innovated and created a circle on the end of the wheelbarrow, so you could catch it at middle height, catch it below, and catch it above, and you could get 15 more degrees vertical on that wheelbarrow to make it easier to unload and save on your back. And they created a category that way, and Stanley Tools made a lot of money because of it. And that's really that's the flip side of that. It's one thing to save money. It's another thing to create an unfair competitive advantage in a marketplace. And only through systems like yours can you do that. Is that fair?
That's fair. I mean, in the sense that, look, any innovation is going to come out of a customer need. And the more you can identify a customer need, and sometimes you got to be there with them and seeing what they're actually doing and what they're working around, especially what they're working around. Because any kind of workaround that a customer does against a given product is giving you a map to innovate and to find what the next thing is. So it's crucial to have that understanding as a basis for innovation.
It's everything, really. So, Steve, one of the things I love about what your guys' product does, because it's so similar to what my belief is, so we came together and said, hey, having 5 different logins and 5 different data points and not understanding the relationship with it's not real insight. You're not finding breakthrough that way. But by pulling all those software platforms that you guys have under your suite and being able to have visibility into a dashboard so you can do something with the information, you can engage in it. That's one of the things that makes it your product, and that's one of the things that gives you an unfair competitive advantage. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the FocusVision family includes what Revelation, what we did with Revelation, but also the ability to be live over webcam with consumers, with customers in focus group setting or one-on-one, and also quantitative information as well. So with our survey tool, Decipher. So using these things together is just a huge leap in the sense that, you need both views. You need that kind of bigger quantitative view to understand what's the dimensions of the issues or the opportunities that you're facing. And then you need that in the moment ground truth that tells you why and where to go. And traditionally, those have been really siloed pieces of information. And our thesis is that putting them together, and moving fluidly between them will help people drive forward much faster.
Only in understanding the relationship between those two sides of the data can you really create insights that create breakthrough. And I think that's what's so awesome about what you guys are doing. Hey, thanks so much for being on the show. I love what you guys are doing.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.